Here's what the player had to say when submitting their replay. I find myself inconsistent. Some games I get MVP and pretty much carry, and then the next very game I feed and I lose badly. The game that I sent you was a game I just won after going on a lose streak. On defense, I find myself not knowing where to position and when to attack. I know as a melee character I'm supposed to wait until my tanks are engaged in order to attack, but sometimes I feel antsy just sitting there waiting for someone to get out of position. I want to be better with Iron Fist, but in order to do that, I need to learn a lot more of what I'm doing wrong and how I can climb. Of course, as always, if you'd like your game reviewed, check that pinned comment down below, reply to that comment, and you will get your replay reviewed. So we're going to be looking at this Iron gameplay, and I want to first say that Iron Fist is one of the characters that kind of... You're inconsistent because the character is overloaded. And I have to be honest when I do the reviews for these characters, because you really have to see why you're climbing, and this is going to be the easiest way to get better at your character, at the role itself, and just climb in general. A lot of the players that play Iron Fist, Black Panther, Spider-Man, Hulk, like these dive characters that are extremely difficult to deal with, end up in a position where they climb a lot faster than they should. It's not to say that these guys are bad for playing the character or anything like that, but having that understanding that I'm getting away with a lot more because I'm a dive character that is very hard to deal with. This game does not have a lot of tools to deal with divers, so divers generally have an edge on everybody else because it's so hard to deal with you. That being said, again, it doesn't mean you suck or anything, but it's something to keep in mind. This is why you feel like your games are inconsistent, and you feel like, because basically what you're doing is coin flipping, right? 50-50. I go in, I do all my stuff, I get kills, or I don't. That's what the gameplay is for these type of characters. Get out of that mindset and really play DPS how a DPS is supposed to be played, and you'll see a big increase in your performance. So that's what we're gonna focus on today. So here we go. We're gonna go for an attack. We want to just kind of scan out who's there. So we have Moon Knight, we have Human Torch, we have, ooh, Jesus, 2 flyers. Luckily your character can deal with that. You have an Invisible Woman, a Cloak and Dagger. Who was the tank? Was it Thor? Who's their tank? Oh, it's the Thing. Dude, that guy is mega up. What is he doing? All right, here we go. By the way, this is a gold game. I forgot to mention that, but it's in the thumbnail, so you should know. So you instantly go on Storm. Okay. Well, let me ask you this before you even did that. Why? Now the obvious answer. Well, I see that she's attacking my team and I want to help. Realistically, how much is Thor, or how much is Thor? How much is Storm doing right now? Let's go to her and see what her vision looks like. Let's go a little bit further back. So before you even hopped out, does it look like Storm is doing anything to the enemy team? Like, what is this? But you go on Moon Knight to then originally go on, to then next go on Storm. You didn't really have a game plan when you did it, you just did it. That's not really what you want to think about, especially because, again, Storm isn't really providing anything. What's she doing? Just throwing attacks? Okay, well, these 2 are throwing attacks, Cloak and Dagger, Invisible Woman. They're throwing attacks too, and they're healing at the same time. They're throwing abilities at the same time. So who really is more important to focus here? That being said, you don't even need to do anything. You have to realize that in order to get to an enemy character that's this far away, you can't just run at them. You have to think about, how can I get there? Well, let's try to think based off the angle that you were at. So let's go before you just decided to hop out. Boom. How can I get to this target over there? If my goal is Storm, and that's what I'm going for, how can I get to Storm? So let's see. We can go straight at her. Never want to do that. Don't really want to do that with anybody, especially when you're playing a DPS. Doesn't matter which one. You can go back here and flank. You can go 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 here and flank. Look at all these options, and we just decided to run straight at her. What happens when you show up? Let's just say you hop down, boop, and then you decide to flank this way. What happens? Logically, everybody else is like, oh, Iron Fist is MIA. Maybe they even ping you. Get them to ping you on purpose. Iron Fist MIA. Now they're scared of you. They're gonna do what? Back up. You can cause pressure without actually doing damage. It's psychological. You're not just playing the game physically. You have to play it on a psychological level as well. You know, what can I do in order to get my team to the destination, which is winning the game? Well, if I'm Iron Fist, I know that I'm very mobile and jumpy. What if I just kind of jump up and just kind of like, you know, jump around and make Storm look at me? That's enough to get Storm's attention on you, and you're allowed to have your team push. Getting kills is not how you win the game, okay? Kills are just an obstacle. Like, enemies are an obstacle to winning the game, but getting like 50, 60, 70 kills doesn't mean you win the game. Think about the game on that level. It doesn't matter if you're a duelist, a tank, a healer, it does not matter. They are an obstacle, not the win condition, okay? If you want to fight, you have to play Fortnite, right? That game's cracked, by the way. I'm not dissing it. That's a cracked game. Like, the amount of content that them dudes put out is wild. But I'm just saying, like, in general, if you want to play a killing game, play a killing game. This is a strategy game. You have to think about it on a strategic level. This is why I said Spider-Man, Black Panther, like all these characters that just are able to avoid playing traditional Marvel rivals because their characters are so mobile and so oppressive, miss out on those crucial elements of the game. So I'm not crap talking anyone who decides to play those characters. I'm just saying the game doesn't necessarily need you to play those characters, and the game doesn't need you to necessarily play fundamentally correct until you get to a rank that knows how to deal with you. And then once that happens, you're gonna hit a wall and you're gonna get stuck or start demoting. That's always what I want to avoid when I'm helping you guys, because I don't want to see you get stuck. I don't want to see you demote, right? I want you to continue to climb, but I have to be honest with you guys. If you're gonna do that, these characters just allow you to just do stuff. Like, in what world can any other character that's not Black Panther, Spider-Man, Hulk, etc., just like run at somebody, taking multiple shots to the face, and then just doing this? No other characters. You'd have to play on a more strategic level. And you gotta kill and got away with it. Well, he killed him. No. But you might think, oh, I just did a good job because I got a kill. No, that wasn't a good job. You just are hard to deal with, which is why you got that kill, right? The more that you focus on like why you're doing something, the better it is for you as a player. So every single time you hop in, I really want to know why and if it benefits the situation. So right now, let's see what you do. You're waiting, you're waiting, you're waiting. You're covering an angle that 6 players are covering. Why not cover this angle to prevent players from going in and assisting their team? Boom, cover that angle, right? There's a lot that you can do, and we're just so focused on the wrong thing. Again, this is not to harp you or like, you know, be disrespectful in any way. I'm just really, I have to point these out because you want to climb, right? You want to get to a high rank, and this type of stuff does not cut it. You're gonna end up in a very, very bad spot. That's like the worst part about doing these. It's like, sometimes I have to be kind of hard on what I'm saying because I have to really get it through the head, because the type of gameplay like this is so ingrained in the player, which is yourself. If you're watching, I hope you're watching, you asked for the review. The type of gameplay is ingrained in your character, like how you play the game is like you're not getting it out unless you get really called out on it. I used to be like this for other games as well. Not necessarily this one, because obviously my experience in the other games are what led me to not do that anymore. It was a hard thing to break. But I used to play a game called League of Legends, right? I used to play a game called League of Legends. And there was this character known as Udyr. If anybody played League of Legends, you guys know. This character is so fast that like you can get away with pretty much anything in lower ranks, but once you get higher, people know how to deal with you, you start to lose games. And I would be stuck for like decades. Not really, but I'd be stuck for a while trying to figure out like why. And it was that. It's like what I was doing didn't really make any sense. This is a good pick. Like, even if you don't kill this guy, which is totally fine, this was good. What I would personally do is stop. What did you just do? You reposition this dude. Just stopping here is enough. You reposition this guy. He's forced to play down here. Moon Knight does not want to play at surface level. The guy likes to play up. So this means you completed your job. You did your task. Stop. As a DPS, it's this one's hard. This one's extremely difficult. I even still struggle with this sometimes, especially if I'm like playing for a long session. My brain just turns off and it's like, go for the kill, go for the kill. When you're playing, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be DPS in general, but when you're playing and you do something like go for a target, think about, can I kill him or not? You didn't think about, can you kill him? You just decided to throw everything at this guy and was like, who? But you gotta think, like, when you go for this guy, what is he gonna do? He could potentially jump up. He can jump away. He can fall down. He can go, like, he's gonna react in a way. He's not gonna just fight you, right? He's gonna run away. If your main goal is to try to get this guy out the fight, you did so by knocking this guy down. Now, what does this also accomplish? Well, he's low. So this means that his healers have to pay attention to healing him. Groot's now focused on you. And if you remain up here, psychological, we talked about this a few minutes ago. If you remain up here, then what? The entire team is scared of you looking at you. If they decide to be like, he's not doing anything and go back to focusing, well, you pop right back out and start going ham. I think you're just too locked on like all inning. And that's not really what you need to do. Again, you get away with it because people don't know how to deal with you. But you're gonna get really hard stuck once they learn how. This is again why your games are inconsistent. If people allow you to all in, you get away with it. If they don't, you start losing games. Even right here, you did a good job. Stop right here, reassess the situation. Maybe you can kill somebody else. Maybe when these healers decide to go help and heal the enemy, you just drop down and start going on her. Look how picked off she is. And then you run away and then you keep doing that, rinse and repeat. You only go for the kill when you know you can secure the kill. You don't just throw everything at a target and just pray it works. That was good. It took you a long time to realize you couldn't get the kill, but that's primarily what you want to do. You want to try to think about it beforehand. Good ult with that guy. You see how much more effective you are when you actually go in with the mindset of what you're going to do and why? I'm going to go in and ult to get these guys low enough for this guy to wipe. Bro. Or sis. I don't know. Look, I just say bro as okay, anyway, moving on. That's dope. That's what you want to do. Perfect. Same exact concept though. What are we doing now? Why are we here? We're not looking to get kills. We're looking to complete a job. Dude, looking at Iron Fist camera movement. Dude. It is something. It is something. Even when I play this character, it's hilarious. They're not coming out of there, right? Is there anybody even in there? Oh, there was somebody in there. Good. Reassess the situation. I better not see you shishi yourself into this fight, okay? Okay, good. Why did he just leave? That group just... Bro, that Groot just pieced out. Yeah, I gotta see this guy's camera movement. I'm sorry. I know this isn't part of the review, but that was the most funniest thing I've seen today. Oh, nah, bro. I'm out. All right. What was Moon Knight looking at? Okay, so he goes up here. Dude, that guy's tunnel visioning hard, bro. That guy's like, I did the unk. I need to hit the unk. I love this game. Okay, back to the point. That group pieced out. Moon Knight not even paying attention. I love it. That should not have happened. You just see how you got away with that? It don't even make sense on why. That's the most weird behavior I've ever seen. But you don't really notice it until you look at their camera and it's like, wait a second. All right, that was hilarious. So that was attacking. Undoubtedly, it's way easier for Iron Fist to attack than it is to defend. So let's see what it's like to defend. Every character can defend, by the way, and every character can attack. A lot of the times people think, oh, you need to swap to a defense character. You need to swap to an offense character. Play whatever you want to play whoever you want to play. You can one trick if you want. If you are stuck at a rank one tricking, it's because you're missing something fundamentally. If you feel like, oh, I get stuck and I swap to another character, well, then that means that that character is covering up the weakness that you didn't realize that you had with your main character, okay? I just wanted to put that out there. Another thing I wanted to put out there is if you appreciate the content, you knew it was coming. If you appreciate the content and you're enjoying everything, consider becoming a member. Not only does it help support the content that I create, but also you get little goodies. And to members, pay attention to the member posts that I'm going to be putting out this week. It's going to be assessing kind of just what you guys think about stuff and what's to come. So make sure you're watching out for those. If you want to become a member, click that join button down below or scroll to the description, click that link. It should be there as well. Let's continue the gameplay. Thank you for our sponsor, me. All right, let's go. So we're playing defense now. Same thought process. It does not change. People think that if you're playing offense, you have a different game plan than defense. You don't. Especially for duelists. Maybe for tank, especially like a dive tank, maybe it's a little bit different. For healers, maybe it's a little bit different depending on the situation. But for duelists, usually the thing about duelists is like it's the easiest to like play the game because you don't focus on anything but being selfish. However, it's the most demanding role in terms of like mechanics, because a lot of these characters are very hard to play. You need to have great aim and stuff like that. So that's something you want to like keep in mind. So I don't know if you were hiding. I don't really know what you were doing. If you were hiding, you just jumped out and revealed yourself for no reason. If you weren't hiding, you could have had a better spot that you could have stood in to be in a better location. So you could have just stood here and you could have accomplished what you're about to do from here. All right, so we want to assess the situation. You see how he wouldn't even have known you were there if you stood here. As soon as this guy jumped, this is about to get tackled by Black Panther. Look at him. That dude ready. He wouldn't even have noticed you were there. Okay, so when you get low, keep in mind when you're playing DPS, when you get low, or anything, I'm sorry, when you get low and you go for a health pack, you are specifically saying, I'm not part of the fight for about 10 seconds. When you're using abilities like yours, I'm not a part of the fight for 10 seconds. You don't have your regular ability, right? I don't really like how you're not paying attention to what's going on. So I was saying on your attack phase that you were doing things without really any rhyme or reason. You're just throwing everything out there, right? On defense, it's way more clear that you're doing that because you're not paying attention and taking stock of the entire situation. You're just kind of like walking around. Look at like what's happening, right? Judge the whole situation. So we're gonna go back. I could use this. Boom. Let's just say you turned around and you were walking and you were doing this, all right? To check the situation. What do we see? We see a torch in the sky. We see a squirrel girl down there. Did they not have a tank? Bro. Oh wait, they have a group. I'm troll. Right? We see all this. We see this going. Okay? This is what you want to pay attention to, because now you're going to be thinking, well, how can I approach the situation? What do I need to do? Let's just say we're still looking. Oops, sorry. Let's just say we're still looking. Play at normal speed. And we're still checking. When do you actually like look? Okay, so now. We could have gathered that Groot was low when your Black Panther was going. We also could have gathered that our Black Panther was going. Where was he before this? So let's just say we were playing it normally. Oh, he's right there. So you would have seen him. And you know that this guy's ready to attack. In which case, go with this guy. All you had to do was turn around and you would have had that information. So now this guy's going crazy and you're like, I gotta go too. I can't leave you alone. But you're not doing anything. And then you go just randomly. Throw everything at that you can. And then once you're done, you run away. You didn't accomplish anything. You're out of the fight. You used all your abilities. There's not really any game plan to how you're playing the game. You're in a better location though. I like this. Now you're gonna go onto this guy, but why? What exactly is happening right now that this guy is just so a part of? Let's look at his screen. Before you decide to hop down, what is he doing? Literally no one's getting shot other than, is that Thor? No, that's not. He shouldn't even be there. So this guy should technically be doing nothing right now from this position. Also, you see that Black Panther's there. Let Black Panther do his stuff so that they're focused on him. Use him as bait and then go. Just be more patient. Being patient will allow you to secure so many more kills. It's insane. Because now they're scared of you. Now they're scared of Black Panther. Just going for kills. You did your job by moving him back. That was good. Check out this person sitting right here. Now, realistically, it's okay because he's low and they're all separated. But the thing that I'm mentioning, the reason why I'm mentioning this is because we don't look at everything before we do stuff. Like, look at this entire time you're looking at your camera. Or like, your camera's not looking at anything. And then you just go and see Moon Knight. You didn't assess anything. We didn't even know Black Panther was over there. Unless you're on comms. But I always assume that you're not. If he wasn't over there, that guy wasn't gonna die to you. So I would like to see more precision in your gameplay, okay? So more reason, like more target focus. Why are you going for the target? Should I continue to go for the kill or not? And you would have so much more success just being more active with your brain instead of your fingers. Because a lot of what you're doing is very mechanical. You know, it's like, boom, I got this, boom. Juking, left, right, where you at with yours? And it's good, but you only get so far with mechanics. You are gonna have to learn how to play the game on a fundamental level. And if you're missing that, by the time you hit whatever rank you're going for, and you want to climb past that, you're gonna get stuck. But we don't want you to get stuck. We want you to succeed. You're loading that guy up. Dude, Squirrel Girl thought she was safe. You were loading that guy up. I don't think I would have wasted my time healing there. If you were looking for the overshield, you should have got it a little bit closer to the fight, but they could have healed you. Be more thoughtful about how you use your abilities. So, a lot of the gameplay that we just seen was just very much like, I'm gonna throw everything at you. And this is not uncommon for any character. Like I said, Iron Fist, Spider-Man, Black Panther, Hulk, Captain America. I can't think of any more. I can't. But, you know, all these like characters I can kind of get away with just doing what you were doing without much repercussion. Usually, if you do die, you take someone with you, and so that could be seen as a good thing when it's not really. But, I mean, depending on the target priority, it is a good thing. But I just mean in terms of player improvement, it's not a good thing to always look for trades. You should be getting in and, like, leaving with your life. So, again, it's not uncommon. Even in high ranks, people still do this, and this is why they are stuck in Diamond or stuck. I don't really see many players that are doing it in Grandmaster or Celestial or like anywhere higher. That I think stops by that point. But the real climb, in my opinion, so off topic, the real like climb of like the separation of good player to great player is like high Grandmaster. If you can make Grandmaster 1, you are essentially like, you understand the fundamentals like crazy. You know what you should and should not be doing. At that point, you just have to build on yourself. So when you make it that high, that's where you are. I don't usually see many Iron Fist or Black Panther, Spider-Man players that play like this anymore once you get higher than that. However, if you want to make it that high, you are going to have to fix this. And your gameplay is going to increase exponentially. Like, you're going to be a boss dipped in chocolate sauce, I'm trying to tell you. But in order to do that, you're going to have to play a lot slower. Why am I using my abilities? Why am I going for this target? Why do I want to fully engage on this target, or do I want to like do something and run away? Am I like, and just really put more thought process. Slow down. It's similar to that Black Panther that I was making another VOD review about a while ago. But the thing is, his mechanics were so clean and smooth, he barely got caught. Your mechanics are kind of clunky because the character is he's a lot more clunkier than Black Panther, but you also are still not top tier with your mechanics yet. You're still learning. So if you can put more game knowledge into what you do, your mechanics doesn't really have to, it doesn't matter. Your mechanics are just something you rely on when you're in a pinch. They are not something you rely on every single time you play the game, okay? Game knowledge lasts forever. Mechanics always come and go. So keep that in mind. I said that backwards. It's mechanics come and go. Game knowledge lasts forever. So keep that in mind when you play. But that's a long ending. Thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. Remember, if you want to become a member and help support the channel, click that join button down below or scroll down to that link in the description and it will take you to the same place. You got this. Just play slower and think about why you're doing something, and you're going to start seeing your gameplay be a lot more consistent. I promise you. Until next time, you know what I always say. Think you guys are doing what? Popping often. Well, often.